Um, this is being recorded after I have finished SmackDown, and it's hopefully going to go on right at the start of the episode. So it won't get mentioned at all during SmackDown because I didn't know what was happening. But I've literally fast forwarded today. You can see Saturday, week 3, March 2021, and well, at least Mickey listened to me, but yeah. Hello, and welcome to... Fuck. Is it 118? I believe so. Yeah. Of the TEW WrestleMania Challenge run. This is going to be Friday Night SmackDown for Friday, week 3 of March 2021. And it's the second from last SmackDown show, the third from last show overall, before WrestleMania. Without any further ado, let's jump straight into the show.
Close your eyes, surrender your beliefs to them for holding. Wait patiently to hear whatever changing minds are showing. The week will come. All they wanted was violence to put the chains and divide us. It's all the worst that's inside us. We'll bring on the violence, the violence.
Really glad that you're our friend, and this is a friendship that'll never ever end.
Firefly Funhouse. We open up, cold open with a Firefly Funhouse vignette. We haven't seen one in quite some time, or an official one, because we did see Alistair interrupt one during his trip to the Funhouse on Raw 2 weeks ago. But this is an actual Funhouse, and he's talking about Alistair and how Alistair intruded on his land the other week. And all he wanted to do was find a new friend to play with. And luckily for him, he found one. Yowie wowie. And then in walks Susie, and she's in the funhouse with Bray. And he's like, Alistair, I'm here, I'm in the funhouse, come save me. Or you can come play with us because it's such a great time in here, and the fun never ever ends, etc. And if you want to come to WrestleMania and come to the funhouse, then we'll be more than welcome to accept. And Bray laughs, he's like, Yowie wowie, we'll let you in. All you have to do is ask. And then Spooky Fiend flashes on the screen. And we end the segment. Confirming Alistair versus Bray for WrestleMania. Opening match is a 60, because there's no storyline attachment. Karrion Kross just gets a quick squash over Drew Gulak in 3:37. I don't mean to keep doing Drew Gulak dirty like this, but I have literally no other babyfaces on Midcarders on SmackDown to put in this role. They're either all busy doing stuff, or they're all busy doing stuff, or they're already booked on the show. It was one of the two options, and Drew Gulak was the only person I had available, so he has to take the loss here. Sorry. 76 for Karrion and a 65 for Gulak, but they do have great chemistry. So who knows what the future holds for that feud. Maybe Gulak will feud with Karrion Kross one day. I doubt it, but he might. After the match, we've got to show a little bit of evenness in this feud. So with Karrion Kross celebrating in the dark with his lights flashing, holding his title up, the big dog slides out of nowhere behind him and starts wailing on him with a steel chair. It takes like 3 for him to... He starts staggering after the first 2, and then the third one he sort of stumbles out of the ring. So the big dog has got the advantage. He holds the chair up high. He points to the WrestleMania sign. He does the title around the waist motion. And he's like, you picked a fight with the wrong guy, Karrion. At WrestleMania, I'm coming to claim my yard back. And TikTok will be for you, bitch, oos, or some other, whatever word Roman Reigns would use there that would get the most oomph. This is the wrong way round. Fuck, I don't know where I put the segment now. I'm going to have to check after this. Because there was supposed to be a segment here with Braun coming out unhappy, saying, "Oh, I'm the monster among men. I was the Universal Champion last year, and I've got no word for WrestleMania. I'm the most dominant man here on SmackDown." And then Bobby Lashley in the VIP Nation interrupt him. And he's like, MVP's like, "Well, you can't be the most dominant man here on SmackDown if you have never faced the almighty Bobby Lashley. And he's going to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. But he's free night 2 if you've got any issues, Braun." And then Braun's like, "Well, shut up, bitch. I'll beat Shelton Benjamin right now." And that's what happens. Poor Shelton gets beaten in 8 minutes and 9 seconds with a running power slam. 71 for Braun and a 55 for Shelton. The thing with Braun is, when he was the champion and just after he was the champion, he was at like high 80s pop. And I have no idea what the fuck happened, but suddenly out of nowhere, he lost. I don't think it was the loss to Gaza, because he was still strong after that. But somewhere along the way, he randomly dropped like 10 pop overnight. I have no idea what happened. Maybe he was like had a hot streak that ran out or something, but he's nowhere near as over as he was. Kind of was supposed to be the plan anyway, because I don't want to have Braun up at the really tip top of my card because he's Braun. So it worked in my favour that happened, but just a weird thing that I know it. He's about as over as Isaiah Swerve's got right now, which is funny. So that segment will pop up wherever I've left it. I should probably check after this, actually. But that segment did happen, and it is booked in for the show. But Dakota and Raquel... No, not Dakota and Raquel, just Dakota, sorry, my bad. Is backstage. She hasn't seen Raquel all night. But she's challenging Bayley for a match at WrestleMania. Because she wants to prove her worth on the grandest stage of the Raw. Whether it's her by herself or whether Raquel wants to come into her senses and help her best friend on the biggest stage, that won't matter because she's going to put Bayley down once and for all. I thought she sort of notices something off camera, and she looks up off camera, and we pan up to see Omos staring back down at her. When AJ Styles, Chad Gable, Corbin, Tucker, and Bivens all walk into frame, because they're on their way to the ring. Because Bivens has offered a warm-up match to his 3 members against Jurassic Express coming up next. And he just spoke about Dakota. He's like, I think you're right, Dakota. Me and you, I've been here for you ever since the NXT days. We've been best friends this whole time. And if you're looking for a WrestleMania match against Bayley, I still have that authority to do that, so I'm going to book that match in for you. Don't let me down, Queen. And if you ever need some assistance, you know where I am. And Dakota's like, okay, I hear you, Malcolm. It's fine. I can do this by myself and with Raquel. I don't need you helping me. And he's like, okay, just remember, I'm here if you need me. And then he walks off, and his team head to the ring. Here's the Braun segment. I've gone over that. He came out and said, "Raw, the monster among men," and it led to that match and Lashley and Braun at WrestleMania Night 2 kickoff. Yay. And then here's the match. Fuck. I keep forgetting about the storylines today. Bivens' team, AJ Styles, King Corbin, and Chad Gable, they defeat Luchasaurus and Path of the Dragon. AJ pins Tozawa with a phenomenal forearm. 51 for Humberto, 54 for Tozawa, 58 for Luchasaurus, 78 for Gable, 76 for Corbin, and a 79 for the phenomenal AJ Styles. And then the graphic would show that Team Pierce is also finalised. That will be Daniel Bryan, Apollo Crews, and Sami Zayn against these 3. WrestleMania with the General Manager job on the line. Backstage, Intia Crespo is hyping up her Lucha Boys tonight when the Usos walk in. Like, sup, Us, Lady Us. We're teaming up tonight in an 8-man tag team match against Rey Mysterio and his son and the Street Profits. We're just going to let you know that we know you're a threat here in the SmackDown Tag Team division, but we don't want you to screw up for us, Us, because a lot of people seem to be having their eyes on these tag team titles. And she simply is like, my boys never got their fair shake. We had that match. And that never ended fairly, Jimmy. So there was indeed a lot of tag teams that want a shot of their titles at WrestleMania, and you're looking at one of them. And Jimmy's like, hey, Oos, maybe we'll discuss this if we can get the win tonight, Oos. And yeah, so just announcing the 8-man tag coming up later tonight. First, though, it's boss talk. Sasha, Indy, and Mickie. And she's talking about, well, since it seems my title match at WrestleMania may now be off, poor, what a shame that would be. Let's hype up my girls, Indy and Mickie James, because they're both going to be part of the Women's Battle Royal. And it doesn't matter which one of those two win it, because they're on the same page, and if one of them wins, all of Boss wins. And then Ember and Shotzi come out like, sup, cunt. They're not going to win, one of us is going to win, etc., etc. And blah blah blah, tag team match, Indy and Mickie against Shotzi and Ember, a rematch from No Way Out. Gets a 66. Shotzi and Ember defeat Indy and Mickie. Shotzi pins Indy because Bianca Belair returned with her eye patch or something and screwed Boss out of the match. 67 for Ember Moon, 45 for Shotzi, 55 for Mickie, and a 47 for Indy Hartwell. After the match, Sasha's on commentary and she's looking bewildered that Bianca is back, when Bianca just leaps over the table and jumps into Sasha's chair and just starts wailing on her. And she whips her with the hair and Sasha screams in pain. She whips her a second time and she screams in pain, but then Mickie and Indy pull her to safety as Bianca, her eyes filled with rage as the champion is pulled to safety from her assault. And she's like, you can't run at WrestleMania, girl. Me and you one-on-one for that title and I'm going to take it, bitch. So Bianca is back. And the Mania match isn't off after all. I know you're shocked. The opposite of the Usos promo earlier on is the 4 babyfaces in the 8-man tag having a chat and how awkward it would be with these 2 Mysterios interacting with the Street Profits. Dominik would probably laugh at their jokes and shit because he's a young millennial and because Ray's a boomer. He'd be like, son, why is that funny? Son, what is a TikTok? That's actually not true because I know Ray has a TikTok. Never mind, that is completely off topic. But yeah, they're ready, etc. And they want the smoke for this 8-man tag team match coming up next. 76, I guess, that's pretty fine. The Usos have Jacob Fatu interfere, and they help Dominik get screwed. Because he's the underdog here, he's the one who needs to get pinned. 67 for both Usos, 64 for Lindsay, 73 for Grand Metalik, 54 for Dominik, 78 for Ray, 55 for Montez Ford, and a 57 for Angelo Dawkins. And there it will be, it's announced here, because Death from Above now have a win. The Mysterios pinned the Usos and the Street Profits, well, they never got a fair shake. Fatal 4-way tag team match. Maybe ladders will be involved, but I don't think they will. At WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman then come out. And Paul Heyman's like, ladies and gentlemen, Brock Lesnar does not owe Keith Lee an explanation as to why he attacked him at the Elimination Chamber, because Keith Lee, he's already told you why. Keith Lee cost Brock Lesnar a shot at the WWE Championship at WrestleMania because Brock Lesnar was going to win the Royal Rumble. And if Keith Lee took that away from Brock Lesnar, then Brock Lesnar will take the same opportunity away from Keith Lee by attacking him in that Elimination Chamber. And now I know Keith's going to come out in here in a minute and he's going to be all angry. But let me listen, Keith, this was for your own good. Because, do you not remember NXT? Do you not remember Karrion Kross took that title off you in NXT? I do. And, yeah. Brock Lesnar saved you the embarrassment of losing yet again to a one-armed man at WrestleMania. But no matter, if you really want to start this beef and you want to continue this beef with a man that you know you can't beat because you have already lost to Brock Lesnar, he doesn't mind chalking another W in his WrestleMania win column, Keith. So, if you dare show up to WrestleMania and go one-on-one with Brock Lesnar, you are going to be put down, taken to Suplex City yet again, and Brock Lesnar will remain the most dominant conqueror here on SmackDown. And Keith Lee comes out. He stands on the stage. He teases getting physical, but he doesn't want to do that because he knows that that's what Brock wants. So he just stands on the stage. He's like, he nods his head and he's like, I'll see you at WrestleMania, Brock. Don't forget to bring your A game because I'm bringing mine and you're going to bask in my glory. Mike Slam. Rematch from Super Showdown, Brock Lesnar and Keith Lee, WrestleMania. There it is.
You got me feeling diamond rich. Nothing on this planet compares to it. Don't you agree? Who needs to go to sleep when I got you next to me? All night I ride with you. I know you got my back and you know I got you. So come on, lights out, follow the noise. Baby, keep on dancing like you ain't got a choice. So come on, come on, come on, let's get physical. Adrenaline keeps on.
Shinsuke comes out for a promo, and for what is technically the main event match of the show. And it's basically Nakamura, he's cutting a promo. He said, for years, he's been here for 4 years now, and he's really still kind of trying to work out who is Shinsuke Nakamura. Anyone who's watched him in Japan knows who Shinsuke Nakamura is. Shinsuke Nakamura, he's the king of strong style. He's the eccentric megastar, one of the greatest Intercontinental champions in the country's history. But over in America, he's sort of become just a guy. And that wasn't always the case. He was a star in NXT. He really enjoyed his NXT time. But since he came to SmackDown, he's won the Royal Rumble, sure, but what he's really sort of just existed for a while, which upsets him because he came to America because he had that faith in himself. He had the faith that he could come to America and he could transcend his home nation and he could become a star all across the world. And so far, he's not really lived up to it. And that is why the United States Championship of all championships means so much for him and why he's desperate to win that at WrestleMania. Because that is the championship that signifies this country. And if he can be the United States champion, then to him, he's made it here in the US. He's the champion of the entire nation. And that's what's going to keep him going. It's going to be a win on the grandest wrestling stage of all, because he's never won at WrestleMania. And he needs to get that win at WrestleMania, and he needs to win that United States Championship to prove to him and to you, but most importantly to himself, that he can transcend Japan. He can come to America and be its champion. Obviously, not as fluent as that, but we gave him the translator. We gave him Bivens the translator, which was a fun gimmick. But we need to kind of trust him to speak on his own here if he's going to be a babyface. Because that is also part of the story, I guess, is that he's not the American guy. He is the Japanese export, and he has to have faith in himself to make it big over here, and he needed that time to reflect on it. But he's coming for Chad Gable at WrestleMania to win that US title. Not just for himself, but for the whole show and for America. He then beats Bobby Roode in a 64, so I forgot to put storylines on. This is going to be a fucking abysmally rated show. Praise be to the game mug. Hopefully he can pull this out of the direct. 66 for Nakamura and a 70 for Bobby Roode. We then get Raquel Gonzalez backstage, and she's leaving when Angel Garza hands her a rose. And he says, Raquel, you need to think about what you're getting yourself into. Sure, Dakota may be your friend, but you can do a lot better. You're better than just being a lackey for her. You can be your own star here on SmackDown. Think about it. And she sort of does think about it. She's like, he's got a point. The gay mug does his best. He comes out and he says, well, what was that all about last week? The big bad message. They were trying to deliver the message and they were trying to shut down my entire show. But then they all came running once I came. And me, of all people. I don't know why. I'm not going to pretend I do know why, but there's some sort of issue that they have with me and with WWE. And I want to get to the bottom of it, Ali. So what is it? Come on. Speak to me. Then Ali puts up on the title and he's like, Hunter, you know what it is. I've been over this before. And you just don't want to hear it. That's why you're pretending that you don't know. You know there's an injustice against people like us here in WWE. And because I'm now exposing it, you're trying to sweep it under the rug. But it's out there now, and there's nothing you can do about it. Triple H, Paul, whatever you want me to call you. And Triple H is like, what is this all about, Ali? What is your end goal here? Do you want a match with me at WrestleMania? And Triple H is like, Ali's like, why do I want a match with you? I don't work here anymore. I know what my end goal is. My end goal is to burn this place to the ground. And you're thinking I'm a coward. You probably are sitting there thinking I'm a coward because he ran away from you last week. But that's what I want you to think. I want you to think you're in control. Because the truth is, Paul, Hunter, whoever you are, whatever your name is, I have all the power here. You have nothing. You may be the owner of the company, that you took it in from your father-in-law, but you have no power over me. Because what are you going to do? Fire me? But hey, since you're offering me the kind payday, I don't work for free. And I don't work for you. So if you want this settled at WrestleMania, it'll have to be unsanctioned. And just like I did with Otis. And you're lucky I'm not there tonight, otherwise you probably wouldn't be making it that far, but I've given you the night off. But we will be here next week, and we eagerly await your decision. And we'll have the contract all devised up for you. And if you beat me, message, we'll all stop taking over your show. And then Triple H just sits there for a moment and he thinks, he's like, and what do you want from me, Ali? And he's like, huh? He's like, if you win, what do you want from me? Because there's going to be some kind of catch here. And Ali just laughs. He's like, oh, Paul, what do you take me for? And then he switches the camera off. So, and that's how SmackDown goes off the air. Very tense exchange. 76, blip, yep, didn't think it was going to be very good. The matches were so ass on this show. But what matters more than the 76 of the game gave me is what you thought of the show. Do let me know what you thought in the comments below. And I'll see you next time. Episode number 100 and... Fuck, I've already forgotten the number. 19, I believe. Yeah. For the go-home edition of Monday Night Raw. WrestleMania week will truly begin next time. See you then. Oh, also, this is completely rushed and not planned, hence why I'm like so bleh. But I didn't intend to do a Hall of Fame ceremony in this series because I thought, like real life, they were just going to induct the 2020 class this year. But today they actually announced that Molly Holly was going in for the 2021 class, so I guess they are doing a 2021 class. So I guess I have to now. So if you did stick around this long and you are hearing this, do leave me your recommendations of who should go in for that class. I probably will headline with The Undertaker, because that makes the most sense. So no other big-time major names, please. And no Christian, because he's active, because I know you're all going to say him. But anyone else, yeah, leave in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye.